Hello, my name is Lev Yashin. I was born on the 22nd of October, 1929, in Moscow, into a simple working-class family. My parents were factory workers, and we lived in a small wooden communal apartment on the outskirts of the city, sharing space with relatives. Life was tough, but as a boy I found joy in sports. I played football and hockey on the frozen ponds near our home with my friends. Those streets were my first pitch, where I learned to dive, jump, and stop the ball with everything I had. My childhood ended abruptly when I was only 11 years old. In 1941, the Great Patriotic War reached our doors. Nazi forces came close to Moscow, and my family was evacuated to Ulyanovsk, about 800 kilometers east. There, in the munitions factory where my father worked, I started helping at the age of 12. I made bullets, unloaded trains, and worked long hours in terrible conditions. Food was scarce. We waited in long lines for bread and dreamed of victory and a small piece of sugar. Those years were filled with hunger, fear, and loss. Many of my generation saw their innocence disappear. I often say my childhood ended at that time. By the age of 13 I was a full apprentice engineer in the factory. The work was exhausting. Sports became my escape. I played ice hockey and football for the factory team whenever I could. But the constant pressure took its toll. At 18, I suffered a nervous breakdown. I lost my appetite, felt empty inside, and even lost interest in sports for a while. It was a dark period. A friend suggested military service, which became my salvation. In the army, combining duties with training, I rediscovered my passion. I was spotted playing for the factory team and invited to join the youth squad of Dynamo Moscow in 1948. Joining Dynamo changed everything. Under coaches like Alexei Komich, I trained hard as a goalkeeper. My debut for the senior team came in 1950, but consistency took time. I faced doubts and mistakes. In one friendly, I even conceded a goal from the opposing goalkeeper. Nerves plagued me, but I refused to give up. I worked on my positioning, reflexes, and commanding presence. I wore all black, shorts, jersey, even my cap, which fans later called me the Black Spider or Black Panther because it seemed like I had 8 arms stretching across the goal. My professional career with Dynamo Moscow spanned from 1950 to 1970. I played 326 league matches, keeping countless clean sheets. We won the Soviet Top League in 1954, 1955, 1957, 1959, and 1963. We lifted the Soviet Cup in 1953, 1966 to 1967, and 1970. Every title felt like a victory for the working people I came from. With the Soviet national team, debuting in 1954, I earned 74 caps. We won Olympic gold in Melbourne in 1956. In 1960, we claimed the first European Championship. I helped us reach the quarter-finals in the 1958 and 1962 World Cups, and 4th place in 1966 in England, our best World Cup finish. I saved over 150 penalties in my career and recorded more than 200 clean sheets. In 1963, I became the first and only goalkeeper to win the Ballon d'Or. That season, I conceded very few goals while Dynamo dominated. It was unbelievable recognition for a keeper. One of my proudest moments was the 1960 European final against Yugoslavia. We were trailing but fought back to win 2-1. Or the World Cup matches where I faced the best strikers and pulled off acrobatic saves that seemed impossible. I was tormented by every goal I conceded, as I always said a true goalkeeper must be. The joy of a great penalty save was greater than seeing Yuri Gagarin in space. Off the pitch, I remained a simple man. I smoked cigarettes to calm nerves before games and loved my family. I stayed humble, walking home with fans carrying my bag. After retiring, I coached and served in football administration. Health issues came later. I lost a leg to illness, but my spirit stayed strong until I passed in 1990 at 60 years old. To every young dreamer reading this, life throws hardships, war, poverty, breakdowns. But with passion, hard work, and resilience, you can become a legend. Never stop diving for your dreams. The goal is yours to defend. Thank you for listening to my story. Stay strong, play with heart, and remember, the Black Spider once started just like you, on the streets of Moscow. Lev Yashin. Black Spider, never stop the fight.
factory floor. War stole my childhood, but I opened destiny's door. To every young boy watching, never stop diving for your dream. Hardships will come, but passion makes you supreme. Subscribe to football like an AI. Watch more legends unfold. Join the family, don't miss the stories told. Lev Yashin, forever. Heroes are born from pain. The goal is yours to defend. Feel the fire in your veins.